It's John Soldier. I thought I'd give that a try. I hope you all liked it. Anyway, welcome back to another amazing episode of the How the Hell Did You Get Here podcast at the Joe Soja Studios. I appreciate everyone listening in. Today we have an amazing guest. Her name is Emily Ashton, and she is actually a neighbor of mine, and she will be coming on shortly. First, I just want to talk about some of the things that I've been dealing with lately. So a pipe burst in my house, and so currently we have mitigation experts. I would have done it myself because I'm a manly man, but we have mitigation experts drying everything out right now. The subfloor is wet, blah 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 blah. And of course I know how to do all those things because I'm very good at maintenance. Just kidding. I actually got fired as a maintenance guy back in 2013. So I am terrible at all maintenance related things, except for, like plumbing. Sometimes I'll tighten some sort of pipe that, that's about it. But in any case, yeah. So today, what I'm going to talk about is how other people have become successful, including people that we already know that are famous, just like Jim Carrey a couple weeks ago. But first, of course, I'd like everyone to understand why I am doing this podcast. And so the purpose of this podcast is to motivate and inspire others to go after their dreams. There has been a dramatic increase of tragedies for decades now. I believe that one of the reasons why this is occurring is due to the fact that people find it impossible to turn their lives around after making some mistakes in life and digging themselves into a deep hole. I myself have experienced this same feeling, and I have found that understanding how other people operate exponentially helps me formulate my own design for living. By listening to my podcast, I hope to help such people, no matter how deep their hole is, see that they too can become successful in however they define success. This is the goal, helping others realize that they are loved and that there is a purpose for their existence. In doing so, we may possibly see a decrease in the unnecessary violence that we see occurring in our world today. According to research from Dr. Gillian Peterson, a professor of criminology and criminal justice and director of the forensic psychology program at Hamline University in St. Paul, Minnesota, many of the people committing these horrific crimes share a commonality of childhood trauma that includes physical abuse, sexual abuse, suicide of a parent, domestic violence in the home, and a slew of other traumatic events. For me personally, I have befriended many of those who have experienced or are currently experiencing such trauma in their lives and have found that nearly all of them experience some sense of hopelessness and lack of love or acceptance. My desire for this podcast is to have them learn how others have overcome challenges in life so that they may devise their own plan to attain hope and happiness. To achieve this, each episode will consist of me doing research on somebody who has found happiness and a true feeling of success and share how they attained it. All right, so today we have a very special guest. She indeed is a very successful person with 2 kids, a loving husband, and a fantastic career. She lives 3 doors down from me, so we will now break into the song Kryptonite by 3 Doors Down. Just kidding. That would be very corny. In any case, here she is, Emily Ashton. Emily, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Joe. How are you?
Oh, fantastic! I really appreciate you being on here. We've known each other for a couple years now, and you come over and we have, I beat you in pool all the time, and yeah.
You do beat me. You do.
we have a good time. So, what? I'm having sorry everybody, I'm having a blank space. So tell us tell us about yourself. What do you do for a living? I mean, where you're
Sure.
from, all that stuff.
All right, so I am 3 doors down from you, and I didn't even realize that we could reference a song, but I'm going to do that all the time now, so thank you.
Yes.
So yeah, living in Fort Collins, Colorado, born and raised in Colorado. I work for a huge global corporation.
Oh, you sound important.
No. So, and we are kind of a business processing company, and my title is lead program project manager.
Holy cow! And how'd you get into that?
Oh my gosh. I started there as a temp agency right out of college.
Yeah.
I failed the typing test.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
I know.
I would think that growing up we have to type,
Yeah.
because that's going to be the future.
No, I was
Yeah.
like 20 years old, something like that, 21, and and so the secretary went on vacation, and I filled in the secretary's role for about a week.
Wow.
And I just had to make friends as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And then they asked for me back, and that's that. So
Wow.
That was 13 years ago.
So they asked for you back, and they said, okay, you where did you start out? Like,
I mean,
you weren't at the lead, role or anything like that.
Yeah.
Or were you?
No. I was kind of the bottom of the totem pole.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, as creepy as this sounds, my first job there, besides being the secretary, was researching sex offenders.
I was hoping we would avoid the word sex the entire time.
Yeah, right off
Because
the
last
bat.
week with my wife, it was just terrible,
Yeah.
so.
So I spent months just looking at sex offenders and reporting them out and everything. We do background checks on people. So started very low, still as a temp for about 6 months, and then, was in service, helping clients, in implementation now. So yeah, I basically help companies figure out how to run their business and not get sued.
That's perfect,
Yeah.
because getting sued kind of sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Very good. And how long have you been married?
Oh my gosh, we are going on 11 years
Woo!
this summer. I know.
The big 1-1.
The big 1-1, yeah. And we did, for our 10th anniversary, we were in Europe, which is fun because we always said we wanted to do a European vacation for our 10-year anniversary.
Nice.
And we happened to be out there, so time is flying. Yeah, it's been a long road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how old are your kids?
I've got a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old.
Okay.
Yep.
And how is parenthood? I mean, when I see you, you look really good at it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing games with Ada all the time, and I'm just impressed. Like, oh wow, okay. Today I attempted to actually play Sorry with Joey and Walker.
Yeah.
And I stopped 15 minutes later. So.
I grew up in a house where we always played games with each other. We played a lot of card games. And yeah, so I love playing games, but I mean, being a parent is a wild ride, right? I'd say the best part is getting to re-experience the world through your kids' eyes.
Yeah.
We took them to Disneyland, and I loved that when I was a kid.
gosh,
And I was like, oh, I can't wait to see their reaction.
Yes,
and,
that's oh my gosh,
that's the best part
same
about
thing.
it. Yeah. I could probably be a lot better at it though. I could probably be a lot more diligent, not cave into my kids, not yell as much.
Oh my gosh, are you one of those best friend moms kind of thing?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, and worst enemy mom.
Oh
yeah.
man.
But it's fun. I like it. We've got a boy and a girl, so.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Joey loves Heath, and so does Walker. They're like, oh, let's go to Heath's house.
Yeah, Heath's a good time.
All the time.
He's a good time. He's pretty naughty, but he's a
Oh,
good
is
time.
he?
He's hilarious.
Oh,
yeah.
He seems like such a delight, so.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Well, thank you for letting us get to know you a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we can all tell that you are a successful person just by listening to you. I mean, you're surrounded with family. You got a good job. You're on the path to just doing well, right? And so I'm really impressed by that.
Here's hoping.
So Another question: how do you define success?
Oh, I don't know, man. How do you quantify it? Okay, let's say you can't really give someone the overall category of success, right? Because, like, what if, like, I'm certainly not a successful artist. I can't sing very well. I'm not a triathlete, athlete or anything like that. So I let's say 75% of your life is successful or something like that, right? So you're successful at most things that you put your energy towards, maybe.
Wow, that's a
I don't
that's a good
know.
point.
Yeah.
I've never heard it said that way.
Yeah, or let's say you categorize all the different aspects of your life and then give them a number, and if you reach a certain score, then you become successful. I don't know. It's kind of in the eye of the beholder.
So you're saying that we have to take a test in order to see if we're successful?
Yes, let's test it. Yeah, let's create a test right here, right now.
That'd be big. I'm telling you, because that would help jobs,
The success test.
The success test. Oh, man.
I think we're onto something.
Yeah, $1 million idea.
Right.
Hopefully no one listens to this episode so we can...
We're going viral.
We're going viral. Oh, man. So do you consider yourself successful?
In most things, yeah. I'd say I have a successful relationship with my husband. My kids are still alive, so I must be successful at parenting.
Yeah.
Eh?
I agree.
I think I have a pretty good job. I don't know. I'm also a landlord.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, you.
So,
That's a tough job.
I know, it's crazy. So yeah, I do that. Could I be better in other aspects? Certainly so, right?
Tell me about those.
I could be exercising every hour, every day,
Oh, really?
I don't really exercise a lot. Let's see what else.
How often do you exercise? Because it doesn't seem like you don't exercise.
I just kind of run around with my kids,
Yeah.
That's about it.
It's the metabolism.
Yeah, exactly. I could have more hobbies or, that kind of things. But I'd say, if we were quantifying in a percentage matter, that, I think primarily I'm successful. I lead a happy life.
Do you deal with a lot of percentages in work?
No, not very much.
Because I'm trying to figure out why you went that way. A percentage wise.
I don't know.
No, because it's really interesting to me how you, 75% of what I do, I'm successful at.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to come up with some way to define it and categorize it, and quantify it. You know.
I'm a very big quantifiable person. So.
Otherwise, it's truly just a matter of opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. In fact, actually, a lot of people just consider that, success being an opinion. And here's the first time I actually heard of success can be quantified.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Oh my God, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, I love how ambitious you are too, because now I know that we can invent things.
Yeah, exactly. Sky's the limit.
All right. So, what are some of the good choices that you've made in your life?
Oh, man. I'd say number one is marrying my husband.
Every girl says that. Yeah.
I know, right? We're so cheesy. We're so cheesy. No, but here's why. My husband has way more drive than I do. I think when we were in college and I was like dragging ass trying to graduate, he was like, I'm not going to marry someone who doesn't have a college degree kind of thing. Like, he pushes me to be better and successful and everything like
awesome.
that. Yeah, so we're just making like smart decisions together. So, someone could easily get into a relationship and just have them drag you down kind of thing. But I've got someone who drags me up.
Drags you up,
yeah. So.
And he's always doing stuff, right?
He's always doing stuff.
Oh,
yes,
man.
he can't just like sit down and chill and relax. He's like, let's build something. Let's go do something.
We're either gonna build or destroy. Which one do we want to do?
Yeah, exactly. I'm more of the destroyer type.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah, I mean, he's a fantastic guy. I mean, I love talking to him. I saw, actually, we went to Walgreens.
He just saw you. Yeah.
You already knew that.
Yes,
oh my gosh.
of
Jeez, you guys
course.
like talk all the time or something.
Well, you know, we both work from home,
Yeah.
so we see each other nonstop. He's like my coworker now.
Wow.
So
And that doesn't piss you off, huh?
not at all. We do pretty well, but he's confined to the basement.
Oh yeah.
And I'm confined to all over the house. I work on the couch, in my bed, at a
Yeah.
desk, you know. So
Hey,
yeah,
you know, if you can get comfortable while working, you know,
yeah,
it's
there's
awesome.
no
So-
reason not to.
So, what are some of the bad choices that you've made in your life?
Is there such thing as a bad choice?
I love that. I
don't
love
know.
that statement.
I don't know.
What would you consider? Okay, so with me, I always give this example. So I kind of wish I did not get put in jail in Tijuana.
Okay,
You know, so
okay. Yeah, that's
those
a
kind of bad
defining
choices.
moment in one's life. But you know what, Joe? I wonder how much you learned from that bad choice of being in jail in Tijuana.
Yeah, don't go to Tijuana.
Yeah, I bet you learned some pretty important stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think in order to grow, you have to be kind of young and dumb, and you have to make all those bad decisions, right? But the good thing is that you make them when you're younger so that you can grow out of them, and then they don't really impact your life. Most of them don't really impact your life that much, right? So then they just become like a learning experience.
Yeah.
And, you know, you learn how to avoid future bad decisions. I can't think of anything specific, though. You know, it's all just that normal, dumb teenager stuff.
You ever get into fights and all that
yeah,
stuff, or did you like getting into? You liked getting into fights,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Yeah, I've gotten into fights. I mean, I don't know anyone who doesn't regret getting into a fight, either physically or verbally, you know, so those always suck, but I probably learned something from them.
Yeah.
To like not get into any more fights. Fights, you know, relationships that get lost along the way.
Yeah.
I should have kept in touch with that person. You know, those kind of things are always just choices that it's more of like the non-action.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a
the
good
most
point.
regrettable thing.
Yeah.
So
So, do you? I mean, because I experience this often. You know, I experience some shame and guilt sometimes.
for sure.
You
Yeah.
feel that too.
yeah,
Okay.
you have to go back and look at your life and you
Yeah.
know. All
It happens a lot
I
for me.
shouldn't have said that. I know it does.
You know, like,
yes.
oh man, this thing that happened 10
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
Oh damn it.
Yeah, it's what keeps you up at night. I know it.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I think that's normal.
So
It's healthy.
I'm actually happy that you said that because I don't consider myself a normal person.
Yeah.
Right?
Does anyone?
You know, I don't know.
We're so
but-
special.
I mean, I consider you normal, but now
Yeah.
that I know that you experience that, maybe you're not normal.
Yeah,
You know?
I think it's totally
Oh, man.
normal.
That's awesome. Hopefully, we're done making bad choices, but you know, we
I
are
think
human.
we've got a few more left in us.
You know what? We can do it. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like bad choices
Yeah.
are just around the corner.
I know. That's what makes life so fun, you know?
Exactly.
No one wants to stick to the rules all the
Oh my
time.
gosh, exactly.
That's basic, right? You gotta just...
It's terrible.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a rule breaker for sure.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
am
I'm saying?
too. I am too. My boss tells me that all the time.
Oh man. So okay, so what made you choose the path that you've taken? So you're did you always want to get married, have kids, and have a good job, or was there something else? Like me, I wanted to be a rock star.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so
You
tell me
wanted
about
to
why
be a
you
rock-
chose this path.
I don't know. When I was younger, I never really thought that much about the future, just kind of going with the flow. It's funny because I was in college and I was volunteering at a hot dog stand at the Greeley Stampede. And there happened to be a career coach who was also volunteering at the hot dog stand. And we got to talking, and it ended up her and I holding hands in the back of the hot dog stand talking about what steps I should take in my life.
Gosh.
Because I had no idea my degree's in psychology, which is very much
Wow.
like a wishy-washy, do anything but
Yeah.
not do anything kind
Yeah.
of thing, you know?
Yeah.
So I had no direction, but she offered some guidance, and I took her advice, and she said, what looks good on a resume is working at a company where you can be trusted with secure information. And
Okay.
she's like, and you can kind of get into the HR world, and then you can work for any company, anywhere.
Yeah.
And so she kind of just pushed me a little bit in the right direction career-wise.
Do you remember her name?
I
No?
do not remember her name.
Man.
This was like 17 years
Well, this brings up another question. Did you have a mentor growing up? Do you have a mentor now?
No, not really. I don't really have a mentor.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
I mean, who would I choose as a mentor? I don't know how to go about having those kind of relationships. I don't know.
I mean, I have a guy. He's very driven. He's actually my real estate agent.
Oh, okay.
So he is kind of like a mentor to me because he has this drive to do better, and he's becoming a life coach as well.
Okay.
So and then I have mentors in selling life insurance and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah, I guess when you're just like people you look up to kind of thing. Yeah, there's probably people in different aspects that I look up to. I look up to so and so because she's a great mom, and and I look up to so and so because they're a great manager.
Yeah.
So I guess there's probably a lot of people that I look at, maybe trying to emulate, whether or not I know I'm doing it or not.
Okay. Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just surprised that you took the exact route that this girl set 17 years ago.
Smart. It was
my God!
Yeah.
You know what? I remember this girl. Don't know her name, but I am gonna gonna do what she said.
It was like a one-time hot dog stand. She's like a ghost in the night.
Yeah,
She's just like, was she a figment of my imagination?
I mean, this happens all the time at hot dog stands.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that hot dog stand changed my life.
Man, I'm gonna hang out at hot dog stands from now on.
Yeah, you should. They're mighty delicious. But I did know that I always wanted to be a mom, and I need a house to live in. So I've always wanted to have a house. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm just kind of going where life takes me. I'm not really pushing myself into any direction. I think it's important to just live it and have fun with it.
Very good.
Yeah.
Man, I'm impressed. I'm just saying, like,
yes,
she grew up, she did this, and then now here she is, fantastic.
Yep, I just landed here.
Yeah. So what sorts of struggles have you gone through in order to get to where you are?
I think I've been really lucky my whole life, honestly. Yeah, like, my parents paid for college kind of thing.
Okay.
Very good. So this kind of struggles that I went through. From a rich
family now, okay.
Yeah, the struggles that I went through are probably very minuscule to the struggles of other people. So I don't know what struggles I've gone through, which is bad. I can't even think about it. I struggled to get through college. It took me 6 years to do so.
Did you fail stuff?
Oh, I'm sure I think I failed pre-algebra in college.
Oh, man, that's a middle school thing, isn't it?
I know. I'm still counting with my fingers.
We're in college. If it's your first year, you don't really do work in the first year.
Yeah, so I'm sure I did not pass every course that was given to me. So I definitely struggled with that. I definitely struggle as a parent. I have fun, but it's hard work. And so that's struggling. But I think I've lived a pretty charmed life. Wow. Honestly, I have. Knock on wood. Holy crap.
There's a ton of people listening to this podcast that are really jealous of you right now. No, I'm just kidding. No. There are so many people that listen to this podcast that are like, okay, well, that's cool. Now we know how to, because there's people like that want to take your path as well. Yeah. When they hear that, I listened to this career coach, and I just did what she said. Yeah. Right? Listening to people that you find successful. Yeah. That's a good. What do you call it? Advice.
Yeah.
So
find someone smarter than you and listen to them.
Well, then I have a lot of people that I can listen to.
Right? I know.
Oh man. Okay, so have you? Oh, okay. So actually, this question might not.
Okay. I'm scared.
Attain to you because you haven't had many struggles, but has there been any point where you were like, you know what, fuck this, I'm done. I feel like giving up. Have you ever felt like giving up?
I mean, on a small scale, every day. I mean, honestly.
you gotta redo every single day. Okay, I can't stand it, but I'm gonna keep going. One day at a time. That's a fantastic way.
Yeah, one day at a time. Absolutely is my philosophy. Nothing real big. I mean, like I said, college was a struggle. Without Clint, I probably would have just given up and never got my degree.
Wow. How'd you meet Clint, by the way?
Oh my gosh, we met at a party. He lived above my my best friend in a house. But according to him, we had met several times on campus, but I never recalled it. So,
Man, how much
yeah.
weed did you smoke?
A lot. Too much.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, what was the question?
Have you ever felt like giving up?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I think the feeling of despair and wanting to just not do any action, which would I think define giving up, is yeah, but nothing really big in my life. Like I've never given up on a goal or anything like that, you know. But yeah, just the normal struggles of feeling like you want to give up, you know. In aspects of eating healthy. Should I get a salad or French fries? You know,
French fries every time. Baby.
French fries every time. I know.
You know what?
Yeah.
I could. You know what? I'll eat these French fries now, and I won't eat for like 12 hours.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Hopefully, it'll get out of my system.
Yeah. So, but nothing really big that would like actually affect my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And so, do you are you a spiritual or a religious person?
You know, I'm not.
No? Okay.
I'm not. No. I actually grew up in a very religious household.
Okay.
Went to church every Sunday. Went to youth group every Wednesday.
Yes.
Confirmation, Sunday school, all of that, but it just never stuck. I'm kind of a skeptic by nature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like have like some sort of higher power or anything like that?
No.
Nope.
I don't.
You are your
and
own
it took
higher
me
power.
a long time to get to that point.
Wow.
I
Okay.
know. I know.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of people that are exactly in that position.
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
And you know, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, look at you. You did not rely on any sort of higher power, and you still got to where you are.
Yeah.
That tells that's a great way to tell people, hey, you don't need to have some sort of higher power.
Yeah.
I mean, some people do, some people don't, but that's fantastic.
Yeah. I don't want to be afraid of anything. I don't want to blame any other thing for things that go wrong or anything like that. I just I don't know. I don't have anything to really lean on in regards to that, but I do just fine.
Okay.
With that. So my entire family though is super religious.
Okay.
My husband's religious.
Is he for real?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
I don't believe you.
Yes,
Well,
he is.
I'm gonna have to ask him myself and then put it on the camera.
Yeah,
I'll
do it.
record him saying it.
Do it. Yeah.
No, he'd be like, get away from me, you know?
I know. He does not like to talk about himself.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have some sort of morning routine?
Oh man. Well, let's talk pre-COVID for a second.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Because my morning routine was god awful. It was like 14 cups of coffee. It was like me charging around the house in my high heels, telling my kids to get their shoes on 16 times. And then it was carting off 2 small children to school or daycare before 7 o'clock in the morning. So fast forward, COVID, I'm working at home. My morning routine is by far my favorite time of day.
Yes.
So I snooze my alarm maybe like 6 or 7 times. I wake up. I turn on the news without even getting out of bed.
Oh my gosh.
Just to see if, like, you know, the world collapsed while I was sleeping or something.
And they will tell you that it did.
Yeah, exactly. Like, is there a zombie apocalypse today? Oh my God.
It's today. You know?
So, yeah, so I turn on the news and then I lazily get up, put my bathrobe on. I go, you know, get my 1 cup of coffee for the day.
Oh, you only do 1?
1 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I do at least 3.
No, I do 1. And then I get back into bed with my laptop. And I check my emails and I, you know, configure some stuff for my clients and I help the people that I work with and then my kids wake up and they crawl into bed and we cuddle and we watch the news together and we tickle each other and the dogs lay at our feet and we do Wordle every morning with the New York Times and and then we, you know, get ready for our day. So my morning is like way different, way better.
That is incredible.
I love my mornings. It's amazing.
Well, I will not interrupt you.
Yeah.
I won't call you at 7 o'clock in the morning being like, hey, what are you doing? You know, I'm busy. You know, I got my morning routine with my kids.
I know.
I'm being a good mom right now.
Yeah,
all right?
exactly. That's, yep. Morning routine.
Oh man,
I love it.
So do you have a nightly routine?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, right. So I think when you have little kids who need bedtimes and stuff, you kind of just naturally have a nighttime routine. And it usually revolves around watching the clock for bedtime.
Yes,
and counting down.
I do that too.
You know,
you know. Is it 7:30? When's 7:30?
7:58, 7:59, and then I'm like, all right, bedtime.
Yeah.
And so we get the kids, brush their teeth, that kind of thing. My husband and I take turns reading to the kids every night.
Aww.
I don't think there's, maybe if we're like on vacation or something, but if we're home, there's never a night where we don't read books to our kids. Mm-hmm. And then we put them to bed, and then we have this glorious hour of no kid free time.
Yes.
And
Love
it's usually us. Sometimes we're just chilling, but we're usually like, let's watch a show.
Yes.
Yeah. And so we turn on a show.
An R-rated show.
Yeah. Let's curse. And,
Cursing, sex, violence. We want it all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like The Purge. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah,
No.
that was a scary movie. I'm not a fan of horror movies, man.
Me neither.
Oh,
Me neither.
I feel too much.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, so. That's my bedtime routine, and then on the weekends I just stay up later. So
What time are the kids' bedtimes?
Like 8. Well, in the summer, it's kind of like 8:30ish. But
really, you allow that?
I know.
Oh my gosh, we're like 7:30 still.
Oh, 7:30. Like the kids are all the neighbors are out playing on the street.
Yeah,
the
it's
sun's
still light out.
Everyone's all putting sunblock on at 7:30.
Oh man,
that's awesome. No, I when they were younger, yeah. You have younger kids than I do, so yeah, you can get away with that for a little bit longer. I think.
Really? They're gonna disobey me?
Yeah, pretty soon. Like it's gonna be like 7:45, and the kids are gonna be knocking on the door, being like, "Can I play?"
Oh well.
I'll send my
still
kids
does
over.
happen. like last night. I mean, it is bedtime, but Joey and Walker are like. They fight with each other until like 10 o'clock, and then they come out of the room, and then they're like, blah, 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 and I say, get back in the room, and then, I don't know, they fall asleep sometimes.
Yeah, that's a good thing, is my kids actually go to bed. They actually fall asleep,
What?
When we put them to bed, yeah.
Oh my gosh, Walker is the exact opposite. Joey can do that,
yeah,
but Walker still doesn't sleep through the night.
You know what, we went through that with Heath. Like hardcore,
did?
Yeah. It would be like 11 before we finally got him to actually pass out,
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But we did it. Yeah.
I mean, tough parenting, It's tough.
It is.
But, you go through it, and I don't know, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
What I really admire about you two is the fact that you guys are extremely good parents.
Oh,
in fact, so good that me and Brie are like, oh my gosh, what did they think of us? I remember, okay, so just a couple weeks ago, we were like, they didn't have dinner it was a Friday night, and they didn't have dinner, and she's like, should I make them a quesadilla? And I was like, no, they'll be okay. They're going to eat a lot of junk food while they're here,
Yeah,
So, and I was like, oh my gosh, Emily judges us
no,
so bad.
not at all. I'm just used to my kids eating nonstop.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I hear that. So I have one more question for you.
Let's do it.
And this is the most important question
of
the day.
No pressure.
Here we go.
Okay.
So it has to be good, or else we failed at this podcast.
This is the test.
This is where you have to pass the test. I'm just kidding. So, what advice can you give to our audience to inspire them to power through their struggles and keep fighting for what they want?
Oh man, that's a mouthful. Okay, so and I think we kind of covered some of this throughout the show, but I would say take it day by day, go with the flow, right? And find somebody smarter than you and listen to them.
Yes, that's a fantastic advice.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I did. And just enjoy it, right? I mean, like, don't set your goals ridiculously high and make it so that you're struggling constantly, and just have fun with it. Just baby steps.
There's a process, so what I'm hearing, I always like to say this: trust the process.
Yeah,
right?
Trust the process.
Do what the smarter people say to do, and then you do it, and then all of a sudden you're, where you need to be.
Yeah.
And
hopefully
that's
the case.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you, Emily, for coming on. This is, I really loved this interview with you.
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to it for 2 weeks.
Me
even
too.
Though I only asked you 1 week ago. I was like, I'm going to ask Emily.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, but yeah, so thank you so much. And, you have a good day. And let us know if you ever want to come back and tell us some more stories about Clint. You know?
All right. I'll dig some up. Thank you for having me on the show.
Awesome. Thank you, Emily. Now, the way I like to end my podcast is with a quote from the person I did research on today, and that was Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course. And so his quote is, "You must see it, you must believe it, and then you must never stop working to make it happen." And there's a theme here, right? Always trying for what you want, always attempting. It won't happen unless you strive, right? Unless you consistently go for what you want. And so it all comes down to that decision, and then that desire, and then that consistency in doing it. And I want to thank everyone for listening to my podcast. I hope it was informative for you guys and entertaining, of course, because I, at my core, am an entertainer. And until next time, you guys have a wonderful day, and thanks for listening.
What is it I'm